Well, hello, hello, hello. You know what? We're just gonna skip the intro because I was running late anyway. Oh my god. I got so distracted just by stuff. It's been a day. The transmissions are here. Hi, Lasso. Hi, Nancy. So good to see you all. I hope y'all can hear me. I think the mic's the proper mic. Yep, it is. It's the right mic. So yeah, I'm here. I'm here. It's just been a long, crazy day. For those of you that don't know, my real life is being hey Casbar. Um, my real life is being a travel agent, and I was on the phone with somebody for 2 hours today putting together a cruise. Unfortunately, not the Star Trek cruise, but wasn't the Star Trek cruise. But it was just a long day and my brain is fried. But I do want to tell you guys, and Lasso, I'm glad you're here because a Wonder Woman episode, hey, Chris, inspired this great idea I had for an episode. But unfortunately, the Wonder Woman episode is on Saturday. And there was no way that I could get everything done with everything else I had going on for for the show for tonight. But I will share with you what a cool idea it was. I want to do a show, and I'm hoping that there's more than one instance of this. I want to do a show where a Star Trek actor, yes, I said Wonder Woman. I want to do a show with a Star Trek actor is in a role, preferably before they do Star Trek, where they're in a role and there's something about the role that's like prophetic about the fact that you don't know it yet. Oh, did you get up? I thought I could leave Libo sleeping, but he's here. It's something where they're in a role and they do something and it's like you don't know it yet, but your real life is about to become what you're talking about. And I kind of don't want to spoil it. So Lasso, you're not allowed to spoil it. But it was the one with the one that was on Saturday was the one with the thief that stole the crystals from the planetarium. And that's all I'm going to say. Lasso is going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Any other WW fans may figure it out, especially if you're a WW fan / Star Trek fan. But yeah, so there's definitely that Wonder Woman episode. But I'd like to see if I can find something. See if I could find something else out there that fits, because that episode I was just like, wow, there has to be more than one instance. But even to figure out how to research that, I have absolutely no idea. Dave, did I say hi to you? Hi, Dave. Thank you so much for joining us. And Nancy, I realized, and I'm going to say this publicly, I'm apologizing publicly. I owe you a shirt or some other sort of swag because you helped me out getting this stuff together for my booth for STLV. So I owe you a shirt. So we'll have to talk at some point off camera, and I'll tell you exactly how you're going to be able to order that, because I found something out thanks to Chris that's really cool that punkarmy.net can do for me, so that you'll be able to go order it yourself. So I have to reach out to Punk Army, which I'm always looking for an excuse to talk to Raymond anyway. This is Trip. And you could see him much better before the show started and all this started flickering. I don't know, I was playing around with my camera. This camera came with software. So, hey, Janine, how are you? This camera came with software, so I was playing with it before it started. And the one thing I haven't talked about recently for a while, actually, and not because I don't love them both, but the Decon Chamber. I have been so bad about watching other YouTube shows lately. I am just so far behind. But the one thing I want to say is props to them doing those watch parties, because when they did their live event a couple years ago, and we all got to sit in the same room with them and watch Broken Bow, that was the coolest experience, to just sit there and listen. It's like those DVD extras, but live, which is even cooler because then you can ask questions. So I love the fact that they're doing these watch parties, and I know that they just did one for Breaking the Ice, which is a really fun episode. If I'm not mistaken, That was the one, because we all know that I'm not the greatest with episode titles. But Breaking the Ice was the one where they found that comet and they landed on the comet to do Travis said he'd never made a snowman before. He'd never played in the snow, so he and Malcolm made a Vulcan snow person. That one, I love that one for a couple different reasons. One of them being there's actually, believe it or not, there's a Night Court tie-in to that episode because the Vulcan. Thank you, Chris. I thought so. It made sense. You know how like you think that the title of an episode makes sense? Like, yeah, Breaking the Ice, the one with the snow and the comet. And then you find out that it was a completely other episode, even though Breaking the Ice would have made the most sense for that one. Anyway, the actor that played the Vulcan captain of that ship that they ran into, that was William Uté, who played Phil the bum on Night Court, and then Phil got smushed by a piano. So then he played Phil's twin brother, Will. I love it when I'm right, Chris. Thank you so much for because I hate thinking that I'm right. Anyway, thanks, Chris. So anyway, so yeah, that was a Night Court tie-in. So you had John Larroquette doing Star Trek 2 or Star Trek 3, and then you had his bum buddy, because John Larroquette and Phil was like Dan Fielding's best friend. You had John Larroquette, and then you had William Uté in an episode of Enterprise. There's probably other Night Court tie-ins. Because whoever wrote the original Night Court obviously loves Star Trek, because there's some really good Star Trek references in the original Night Court. Not as good as making John Larroquette dress up as Maltz in the new Night Court. That obviously is up here. But that was a big one. And yeah, I know Brent Spiner. That's the obvious one. We skipped the obvious one. But yes, Brent Spiner. And I am waiting because supposedly, according to Brent, he taped another episode. So the Wheelers are supposed to be coming back to Night Court. Yes, I know, a YouTube channel you haven't been watching lately. Guilt, shame, ha ha ha. Nice try, Lasso. Nice try. You know, guilt and shame. I have my guilt and shame deflectors up. But just know that you're in good company, because I haven't watched the Decon Chamber either. So just know you're in really good company. Something else I want to talk. These are all. This is just going to be the preview show, because I also have to get up. I'm already tired thinking that I have to get up a couple hours early tomorrow because I have a out of office thing I have to go to tomorrow. I actually have to commute, which is something I haven't done in a very long time. And not only do I have to commute to this thing, but it's a ways away. And if anybody knows Philadelphia, the Schuylkill Expressway, I have to take this Schuylkill Expressway, and I am really not looking forward to it. Schuylkill Expressway is a pain in the ass. Another show I was thinking about doing, I think I've done something similar, but I'm not sure if I've done this exact thing. Oh, congratulations, Crystal. We get to find out who it was? Or do you want to save that for a surprise? Because I'd love to know who it is, or if you want to announce it here, that's because I love breaking news for everybody. But yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I just completely lost my train of thought. So yeah, I was thinking about Hey, Jean. Yeah, think about doing a show about the evolution of the Star Trek franchise. Can there be too much Trek? Is Trek getting? Oh, Chris, that's fantastic. I'm glad you got John. You're gonna have so much fun. You were gonna have so much fun, or had so much fun, because you tape it, right? Yeah, you tape it. So I hope you had fun. I'm sure you did. So that's gonna be awesome. So yeah, I kind of want to talk about, like, if we think that Star Trek has gotten, spread too thin, if the quality of the shows is a reflection of the fact that there's so many of them, and that, how do you come up with, all these different ideas if you're running like 3 shows at the same time? Back in the heyday, it was nice and linear. You had, when they got rolling, it was Next Gen, then DS9, then Voyager, then, with a little bit of overlap, and then Enterprise, which didn't matter if it overlapped because it was something completely different. Yeah, John's a great interview. John's an absolutely fantastic interview. And speaking of John, let us not forget anybody going to Trek Long Island, which is the end of May, the beginning of June this year. John is going to be there along with the lovely Bonnie, his wife, whose name I'm still not going to try because, again, tired. But John and Bonnie are going to be there with me this year. The Trek Long Island has a fantastic roster. I believe they're not done announcing it. Hi, Ed. So good to see you. I believe they're not quite done, but if anybody is even considering going to Trek Long Island, I am not sure the rooms, the block of the hotel might be booked. The challenge, I should say, not the problem, because it's a fantastic venue. The challenge, though, is that it is such a fantastic venue at that time of year. People are booking it for their weddings. There are like 3 or 4 weddings at the same time. So it's the convention and weddings. So you're either in the elevator with people that are in cosplay or completely dressed in suits and bridesmaid gowns. So at least you can tell which is which. LeBeau's laying down under my desk. So anyway, the rooms might be not available. There are definitely there are definitely options very close. There's like a hotel right next door. I think there's a Holiday Inn down the road. So even if you're only considering it and you can't get into the host hotel, there are plenty of other hotels in the area. It's going to be fantastic. And I still have passes to give away. I absolutely still have passes to give away. So please reach out if you're interested in going. I can get you a weekend pass. John's going to be doing some really fun stuff after hours on Saturday night. There's a cocktail party, and there's like this really cute game show that they're doing, which reminds me, somebody from the convention emailed me today, and I got so busy I didn't get back to him, and now I feel really, really bad. Oh, that's so funny. It's a good thing I talked about John, so I can. Yep. Okay. There it is. I'll read it after the show. You guys don't need to know what's going on with that. Hello, East Dubuque Bridge. Hello, East Dubuque Bridge. So glad to see you. How are things in East Dubuque and the river that you're expanding over, which I seriously have no idea what river it is. So there's that. There's also Shore Leave. I'm going to be at Shore Leave with Tracy Coco. This is the first time I'm going to Shore Leave as an agent instead of a handler. I love Shore Leave. I've gone to Shore Leave. I couldn't go last year because it was literally the weekend that I went to Vegas, because I always go to Vegas early. But I'm really looking forward to it. They've moved it back to where it used to be, which is mid-July. So I am really excited to be going back. They're in Lancaster, which is a way easier drive than trucking down to Maryland. So I'm really looking forward to it. I love Tracy. And what I am really excited about is that Adrienne Palacki from the Orville is going to be there. And I met her a couple years ago when the Orville cast was in Vegas. And Scott Grimes is going to be there. I didn't get to meet him when he was in Vegas. He was busy doing the gala. He was playing on Saturday night when the Orville cast was out to dinner. Anyway, but I'm really looking forward to seeing Adrienne again. I hope she remembers me, because I'm going to bug her about coming on the show when it comes back next season. So she's fantastic. She was just on a couple episodes of Dr. Odyssey. For those of you that don't know, Dr. Odyssey is basically like a modern version of the Love Boat. It's from the point of view of a ship's doctor. So and Don Johnson's the captain. They always have fantastic guest stars. And it's really a great show, and you can find it on Hulu if you're even remotely interested. But Adrienne was in the last couple of episodes. Oh, Ed, that's tough. Shore Leave or a cruise. But yeah, I would definitely take the cruise. Well, then you should come to Trek Long Island instead if you're around. Yep, that's right. Melissa Navi is going to be there. I walked with her. She was on the picket line in New York during the SAG strike, and we did the Star Trek Day picket. She was on the picket line with Ethan Peck. I almost said Ethan Phillips. Ethan Peck. I said hi to Ethan because he remembers freaking everybody he's ever met. I said a real quick hi to Ethan when we were done, but I didn't introduce myself to Melissa, but I am looking forward to meeting her because I love her character. Ed, Adrian and Scott were just at the Woman of Sci-Fi. Oh man, that must have been amazing. I really wish if I had been able to drop everything and go to Burbank. First of all, it's at the same hotel where Gallifrey One is, and I really do like that. I really do like that hotel. I just wish I could have dropped everything and headed out because must have been an amazing convention, and I know it was raising money for the LA fires. Let's see. Ed is reporting in. Scott was incredible with the action figures. He's a great singer and keyboard player. I have news for you. I have loved Scott since ER. If anybody knows this, Scott was actually he was in late ER as a doctor, and I've loved him ever since. And when I saw him on the Orville, I went, it's the dude from ER. And yes, for those of you that don't know, I'm getting there, Lasso. You know I've always got your back. For those of you that may or may not have heard, back in Burbank is where they were initially moved after they left Milwaukee. Yeah, Burbank's not a bad place to live, actually. I don't think it's as close to the beach as they made it sound, but it's nice. I've been to Burbank a few times. It's really nice. I like it. For those of you that may or may not have heard, was it 2011, Lasso, that they tried to bring Wonder Woman back to TV? Are you serious? Less than 75 people showed up for the entire, guests showed up? That's how many. Wow. I would have expected more people to show up, especially since it was in the LA area. Anyway, 2011, and I know Lasso will correct me if I'm wrong. In 2011, NBC tried to bring Wonder Woman back to the small screen. They did a pilot. It was incredibly confusing. I think it was Wonder Woman, Diana Themyscira, and Diana Prince. Diana was 3 people instead of 2. Hey, I got it right. Thanks, Lasso. 2011. It was, so they had her being 3 people. Carrie Elwes was in it, which was really disappointing. That's why I was disappointed, sort of, that it didn't make. But Adrianne Palicki was Wonder Woman. And she was fantastic. And I didn't realize that until after I met her. And I was like, oh my God, I met Wonder Woman. So, of course, Lasso and I have that in common. And I can't believe there were only 75 attendees at that convention. Wow. And they were trying to raise money. And yes, you did hear a squeaking noise east of Buke. That would be LeBeau playing with his teddy bear. Off camera somewhere. Hold on. Oh, he's not only off camera. I think he walked out. But yeah, that was LeBeau. Wait, Pedro Pascal was. That's right. You did say something about that to me. And Pedro Pascal was in it. For those, yes, Pedro Pascal, as in the Mandalorian himself, and also the villain in Wonder Woman 84. It would have been, you know what? I think she would have been, there you go, Lasso, look, see, she talks about it. It probably would have, but it was just really, it was a lot in the pilot. I think they were trying to cram too much of it in to the pilot. And, in case anybody, I have a bootleg copy of it, so I've seen it. They just tried to crammed too much in. I was just going to ask that, Lasso. I was getting there. This is a very important question for Lasso, Ed. If you saw her table, if they were doing signings and if you saw her table, did she have Wonder Woman 8x10s? Because I told Lasso that is going to be on my list. When I go to shore leave, of course, I'm going to try and reconnect with Adrian, and of course, I'm going to try and get him an autograph. So please let me know, or let us know, Ed, if she had, because she looked really good. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of the costume. I think because they did 2 different costumes. She had the pants, and then she had the traditional costume, and But I thought she was a great Wonder Woman. I really wish that they would have just done a cleaner pilot, and I think it would have had a chance. And seriously, there didn't need to be 3 Dianas. There needed to be Wonder Woman and Diana Prince. I mean, let's just keep it simple. Or in, what was it, the 70s, when it was just Diana learning martial arts. So I know I said I was going to talk about Star Trek, and now here we are talking about Wonder Woman. Lasso is going to come on the show at some point very soon. Lasso and I are going to cohabitate each other's spheres. So I think we're going to have Lasso on here very soon, because we were talking about me doing one of his shows. So you all know I will never leave you earlier than half an hour, but I bought 2 auction items packed with celebrity guest autographs. Oh my God, I love the creation. I love the creation auctions. They are so awesome. You know, that doesn't mean that she won't have some of them at Shore Leave. Lasso, you and I can talk off camera. I'll see. Maybe. You and I will talk. Anyway. So, oh my God, like I said, I am just so out of it tonight. All I can think of is how early I have to get up tomorrow. 7 o'clock in the morning may not seem early to you guys, but it is wicked early for me. Just because working from home, I get to kind of get up late. I set all my meetings and all my to-dos and everything for later in the morning, because I need my beauty sleep. So, LeBeau, are you back? It's like I hear him. I don't know where. Oh, there you are. Hi, Bob. Hi. Oh, it was right. His little teddy bear squeaky thing's right by my desk. Is that what you were looking for? He loves the squeaky toys, but he's just like my Anakin was. And I don't know about you guys. Anybody out there has a dog, but seriously, do all dogs just want to like eviscerate their squeaky toys to get the squeaker out of them? Because he's only my second dog, and he is the same way. He likes to eviscerate the toys to get the squeakers out, which kind of makes me sad when I give him like little teddy bears. My neighbor across the street gave me a lamb chop chew toy, and I won't give it to him because I mean I was a little, but Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chop, I used to watch them. I love Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chop. I do not want to watch my dog destroy Lamb Chop. So I'm not giving him a lamb chop. I think I'm just going to go and exchange it for something. It's not that I didn't appreciate the gesture, because my neighbor did not have to do that, but I just can't. I want to give him the toy, but I can't, because I can't watch him. I can't just look at little pieces of white fluff all over that used to belong to Lamb Chop. He had a Harley Quinn that he completely yeah, 4th season of Orville. Yep. That I am really excited about. Wait, you mean no 4th? I thought that they got the green light for the 4th season. What happened? I thought they got greenlit for that. Does that mean that they like the squeakers or hate the squeakers? That is a really interesting question. I think they like the squeakers, because you know what? Once they get the prize out, they stop playing with the toy. So I think they like the challenge and they like getting the squeakers out, but then when the toy doesn't squeak anymore, it's pointless. So I would say like the squeakers. Oh, he's changed. He switched from squeaky toys to rubber toys. Lasso, you are terrible. You're funny as shit, but you're terrible. You are absolutely terrible, and yeah, that's really funny, and yeah, and it's a good thing that Sherry Lewis also doesn't like sci-fi. I thought Orville 4th season was good to go. Yeah, that's what I thought. Trying to, unless she's just saying that to throw all y'all off, maybe. So yeah, see, rubber. This was the doorstop. My office door does not stay open without this, but now I can't use it because the dog has literally chewed it. And even though I give him his appropriate rubber toy, which he is using right now, As most people know, dogs and cats do share that in common. They would rather play with things they're not supposed to play with than something that they should be playing with that is literally almost the same exact thing. So I don't know. But anyway, at least he's happy now with the rubber thing that I gave him, because he doesn't know where I put the thing. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. I finally saw Peter Macon in his Dexter role. I don't know if we ever talked about that. There were rumors going around, but thanks, Ed. I'm sorry. I was checking on something. Sometimes I forget that you guys are watching me do things like check my phone. She very sincere and sad about it. Doesn't mean never, but nothing is moving forward now. She mentioned Seth is busy with TED TV. Oh my God, the TED TV show is coming back. I thought that might have been a one-off. That is, anybody that has Peacock, the TED TV show is phenomenal. It is, first of all, I love TED, but the TED TV show is absolutely, absolutely phenomenal. And the kid that they got to play, the young version of Johnny. First of all, Scott Grimes is in it. He plays the dad. But second of all, the kid that got to play Johnny, I saw him in Parenthood, and he was so good in Parenthood. But this is such a departure from Parenthood, and he's really good in this role too. So, first season is on Peacock. I'm excited about the second season. But you know what? This is the thing about Ted. This is the thing about Seth too, is he can completely multitask. So I have a feeling if Disney called him up tomorrow and said, yes, the fourth season of Orville, we'll do it, he'd probably jump on that too. From what I understand, he could probably juggle both of those at the same time if he had to. But yeah, the Orville needs to come back, because we're sort of in a Trek desert right now. Yeah, Strange New Worlds is coming back, Starfleet Academy, but I need some Orville. Absolutely need some Orville. Everybody needs some Orville in their lives. Absolutely. So do you guys have any questions? Anything you want to talk about? Because like I said, I am seriously ready for bed. I didn't want to, obviously I was not going to cancel on you guys just because I had to get up in the morning. But I figured keeping it kind of like an open-ended yip yap session with you guys would be the easiest way to do it. So, but anyway, so I'm just looking for, yeah. Oh, so yeah, and don't forget, I am going, so besides, real quick, so obviously besides the two conventions I'm working for other people, I will be in Las Vegas. The plan is to fly in on August 2nd. So I'm going to be there. I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm not going to be in Vegas for my birthday. It's the first time since COVID when I didn't get to do my 50th. So I could be in Vegas on my birthday, but I do not fly on my birthday. That is a personal rule. I've flown twice on my birthday. Both times things got fucked up. I do not fly on my birthday anymore. So I'm flying in on the 2nd. Anybody that comes in early to Vegas, I will be in Vegas from August 2nd all the way through the 12th. The convention is 5 days this year. I'm really excited it went back to 5 days, because if they do what I'm hoping and crossing my fingers, if they honor my request to put me back with the Land of the Lost people, that means I get 5 days to hang out with Wesley and Kathy. And that would just make me very happy. I would just probably need earmuffs at some point towards the end, because listening to the theme over and over again, no matter how much you love listening to Marsha, Will, and Holly. If I could fly the invisible jet, then I would probably go for longer, because then I could park it on the roof of the Rio and nobody would know. Do I have any plans for going to the Chicago Creation event? Okay, and I know this is weird not being there during my birthday this time. Yeah, okay, so Dave, you and I are on the same page. And Chris, at this time, I don't. I would love to go to Chicago. I would absolutely love to go to Chicago. I've only been once and I didn't get to see anything because I was literally in the hotel for the entire Reed Pop Star Trek convention. But also, somebody I know lives close enough to Chicago to come in for the convention. And I don't know, do you have to cross the East Dubuque Bridge to get to the convention? I don't know how you get to Chicago from West Bend. Yeah, and this guy's going to C2E2, which I'm totally jealous about because there's some really cool people that are going to be at C2E2. For those of you that don't know, that is also a Reed Pop event. It's probably the Midwest's biggest Comic-Con event. And it is called C2E2. But that's going to be amazing. But yeah, Chris, I don't know, especially with the dog, because you guys didn't know me, but the same rule applies to this dog that applied to Anakin. I probably will not leave him with anybody but my parents. And my parents, when it comes to dog sitting, that's got to be worked out well in advance. They're not exactly thrilled that I got the dog so close to everything else that I'm going to be doing, but so I have to see Chris. I will keep everybody posted. Like I said, I would love to do Chicago. I just don't know if it's in the cards because Vegas is always shore leave. My summer is basically now Trek Long Island, shore leave, and Vegas. And I know Chicago isn't over the summer, but if those are three travel things that I'm doing, yeah, if those are travel things I'm doing, then I have to be careful, like I said, when it comes to getting dog sitting. But yeah, I will try. I mean, like I said, I was sad that I wasn't able to go last year. So I'm definitely going to give it a go. But I will keep everybody posted as that gets closer. You guys, Dave, you need to wear your NX shirt, just like Chris did for that Star Trek convention for me. You need to wear your NX shirt at least one day. For me. Oh, that's so cool, Dave. Yeah, like I said, I've got at least 3. Trek Condoroga was probably not. But anyway, guys, Lasso needs to get an NX Transmissions t-shirt so the two of you can be twinsies. So or wear them on separate days. I don't care. But anyway, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up because, like I said, early morning tomorrow. I'm going to see if I can get some stuff together and maybe do that idea that I talked about and see if I can throw something together that's more than just the Wonder Woman episode that I saw. Oh, thank you, Dave. Much, much appreciated. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. The Babble session is officially coming to an end. As always, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me here on Monday nights. Wish I could have been more fun. I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like my brain's already asleep. I know, I've been saying that a lot. Anyway, guys, thank you all. Oh, did people just pop in? Hold on a second. Oh, thank you, East Dubuque Bridge. I really appreciate it. Hi, Olive. Thanks for dropping in. But this show, we're wrapping up. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Like I said, I'm going to try and work on that idea I had, and maybe next Monday. And I mean, my season's winding down, but I am definitely getting at least one more guest before it is all over. So until I see you all next week, please don't forget to live long and prosper.
Hey, this is Connor Turner. You've been listening to the NX7062 podcast.